Would someone like to give us a quick recap? Ooh, no one wants to give us a recap. Like, should I Socratic method this? Huh?
Yeah.
All right.
What's Socratic method?
Where you just call on someone? All right, I rolled a d6. Jeanette, you came up as my recapper.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's gonna be great. Whatever you remember, that's the goal.
But you only have 60 seconds. Go.
Oh man, this is not a good idea. Anyone else want to volunteer?
I think that covers it. Last week wasn't a good idea.
No.
That's why we didn't do it. You're in this city called Vallaki. For starters, you went to the Blue Water Inn. Do you remember what happened next?
Rented rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people introduced themselves as the wrong name.
There we go.
We met Rictavio. Oh man, you guys.
You're doing great. You're crushing it.
Yeah.
No, really. If I were to recap, this is very similar to my recap.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember other important things.
You're killing it.
You learned about, I will say, an important thing that the DM wants to make sure you remember is that Danica and her husband Erwin, who run the Blue Water Inn, mentioned that their wine supply has stopped coming in and they don't know what's going on. So had asked you to investigate, and I believe offered you a reward or something.
Wasn't it like 500 gold? I remember.
That sounds right. It was a lot. Sorry. Continue, Jeanette.
Look, that's all I got.
All right.
Do you remember
does
the
anyone?
church? The church. Nope. Not ringing a bell.
Yes, we went. Didn't we go to the church and meet the Burgermeister, who is also serving temporarily as the cleric in charge of this Church of the Morning Lord, and he was charming in a threatening way, and I think said that we could come the next day to speak to him at his house, and then also we were interested in investigating the parsonage where the previous priest had lived, and he had mysteriously disappeared. We don't know. I believe we don't know where or why. And he said, yeah, we could investigate the parsonage tomorrow. And in preparation for, to guard against the potential of the Burgomaster tampering with the parsonage and any potential evidence we might find there, Callow set an alarm spell or an alarm tincture on the door of the parsonage before returning to the inn for the night, so if anybody should enter into the building during the night, it will ping him in his head and awake him.
Excellent. Great group effort. I love it.
So bad.
No, it was great. You did, especially unexpectedly. I really did just roll a dice for it. I swear, I'm not picking on you.
Yeah, I was crossing my fingers. It failed.
The dice misread you.
Yeah.
It was also several weeks ago, so...
Thanks for that.
It was.
Unacceptable. I'll do better next time.
All right. All right. So, I believe you guys...
Sally Sally informs me that her computer shot the bed. She is coming.
Okay.
I don't know what she is coming means. Presumably she is restarting her computer.
Okay.
Huh. Meantime.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say if you guys wanted to talk a little bit about like where you want to pick up. Like, do you want to pick up immediately after setting the alarm spell? Do you want to pick up after a long rest?
Well, I suppose we go back to the. We went back to the inn, and I don't know if there's anything to do before going to bed, but I feel like I do want to know whether or not Callow in particular gets a full night's sleep, or whether anything pings in the night.
All right. Yeah. So I guess first decision is: are you guys doing anything before bed?
Well, before we head into our respective rooms, Callow will turn to everyone as we walk in and say, "Now, should anybody intrude upon the parsonage during the night, my tincture that I applied to the door will send a signal into my brain, will wake me from even the deepest sleep, and so we all should be prepared, just in case, to make haste over there should I get that signal that somebody has gained entry into the parsonage, because we wouldn't want this burgomaster to potentially tamper with any evidence that may remain that could give us any clues about the disappearance of Mr. Petrovich."
How much haste?
Well, I suppose as much haste as possible if we want to catch whoever it is in the act. I'll do my best to rouse everyone as quickly as possible should I be awakened by the tincture.
Because it takes 10 minutes to don this, and it is a bitch to sleep in.
Well, I suppose there's always the chance that we might not encounter any deadly combat should we head out that way. The burgomaster didn't strike me as the type to engage in fisticuffs lightly. So perhaps it will be sufficient to go over there lightly armed.
My shield can be my armor. That sounds good. Is Danica still here? Is the bar still open?
Yeah, I would say it's like getting to that time of night where you can tell it's like just the regulars who are hanging out. Like, it's pretty late. Most folks have gone home, but Danica's kind of cleaning up. Erwin's out front with her as the kitchen is now closed. But the bar's still serving drinks to those who would like it.
And is the bar still here?
No. Rictavio left earlier, taking apples and a steak with him.
To feed his monkey.
And you haven't seen him. He's not in the tap room now.
That's not a euphemism.
It is not a euphemism. He's actually, at least as Rictavio said it, you do not believe it's a euphemism.
Yes.
I think.
He's feeding his monkey.
The former.
So I'm gonna sort of turn and say to my companions, listen, I've been pretty straightforward about who I am and where I come from and what my goals are. I would like to know a little bit more about you guys. Can we have a drink and talk a little bit about what the fuck is up with you?
fair enough. I'm always game for a beverage.
Yeah. I have some questions too.
Well, I suppose, it's fair play. You certainly have another glass of warm wine.
Elandra, you in?
I'm in. Let's do it.
Okay.
You first.
All right, so I'm gonna go over to the bar and ask for 5 glasses of wine, 1 warmed.
We'll see if they do buckets.
Oh, do you have buckets?
Well, we sure don't, honey, but I can
A
pour you
carafe? Maybe a
Yeah,
carafe?
I could do a carafe. You want the
A
purple
cra-
grape smash number 3 or the red dragon crush, the house reserve?
Ooh, what do you guys think? Feels like a Red Dragon Crush moment to me.
If you're paying.
If you guys will tell me everything that I ask you to tell me, I will pay.
Ooh.
No $2 chuck, 2 gold bold.
I'd say the purple grape mash is probably as close as you're going to get to $2 chuck, as you call it. I don't believe it's been that for a few years now, though.
I'm the purple masher.
All right, purple mash it is.
All right, that'll be 18 copper pieces
Jeez.
Okay.
for a pitcher.
All right, 1 pitcher, please.
And I will, Danica will also throw in 1 cup of warmed wine for Lucian without.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Now you all let me know if you need anything else, okay? Erwin and I'll just be walking around here at the bar in the back.
Will do. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, darling. Barbara, was it?
Yes, Barbara.
You feeling
That is
okay,
my name.
Barbara?
I am feeling okay. I will be feeling much better once I have a little purple crush.
Couldn't agree with you more. All right, you all have a good time.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to bring the pitcher over with a bunch of glasses sort of on a tray. And I'm going to sit at the table and I'm going to say, okay, you start. And I'm going to point at Lucian. What's your deal?
You can't ask him that right when he takes a big sip of wine. It's chewy.
It's actually
I'll wait.
it's far too much carrot and hummus. Oh. There we go. What's my deal? What do you mean by what's my deal? What is it that you would like to know?
Okay, so where are you from? Where do your powers come from? What is your expertise? Who are your friends? What do you want? Tell us.
It's quite the exhaustive list. Well, originally, I am from. I was born in the Feywild, specifically as a minor member of the Winter Court. My parents were both archivists, and had some renown for their work in the Umbral Athenaeum. I also worked within the Shifting Libraries for a period of time before I left the Feywild and entered into the material realms of Faerun. I've spent most of the last 200 years studying at Candlekeep. I have been a scholar and librarian my entire life. I left Candlekeep at the behest of my patron. I am seeking out lost knowledge that will serve to free her from her current predicament.
Who's your patron and what's her predicament?
I have been gifted certain powers by Miriam the Silver. She is an undead silver dragon that is cursed and bound to Candlekeep and unable to leave, and unable to pass on from her undead existence.
And she wants to leave Candlekeep and die.
She has been trapped for almost over 1,000 years at this point, and she seeks to move on and be free of her imprisonment, be free of her undead existence, and pass on to whatever the next plane is that dragons may move on to. But the curse that binds her there is extremely powerful. The Council of Wizards that bound her there have all since passed, and the curse itself, or the spell of holding that has bound her to Candlekeep, has not been able to be dispelled. She seeks out people like myself that are willing to make deals with her to try and see if we can't find some lost clue, some lost magic to free her.
So she's the reason why you can, and Beatrix is gonna mimic shooting lightning bolts with her hands.
Yes, she's the reason I can.
If she's freed and she passes on to the next plane of existence, what happens to you?
Well, she has promised to fulfill her side of the bargain. I free her, and she provides me something that I hold most dear.
What's that?
I have a friend that is beyond my grasp. She is in a place where I am unable to go to her or call her forth. It is similar to the type of spell that holds Miriam. So much as she is my patron, we are working together so that I can free my friend.
Lucian, you poor thing. Quite the hero. A dragon being trapped for over 1,000 years?
Indeed, she is Tyreen's as crafty as all dragons are, but with the insights of what it means to have at least partially passed on and be freed of her physical form. But she still haunts about Candlekeep and is bound to protect it.
And yet you say that although the Council of Wizards that cursed her, that placed this curse upon her, have all passed on, the curse that still remains. There has been no natural spelling of the curse.
Correct.
Even though all who were involved in it are no longer of this earth.
The research that I was able to do at Candlekeep revealed that council tied her, the spell of holding that captured her, to the very bones of Candlekeep itself. The only means to free her that we have been able to find thus far would be to actually destroy Candlekeep itself. As I'm sure you can imagine, removing the greatest library from the face of Faerun is not an option. So
No, certainly not.
We seek out some of the lost spellbooks of that Council of Wizards. And the the reason I think Miriam was so interested in me was the work that I did in the Umbral Athenaeum. Are any of you familiar with it? Have you ever heard of this before?
No. Tell us about it.
The Umbral Athenaeum?
Umbral Athenaeum. It's the graveyard of lost books. It's the shifting library, where tomes, texts of all types and ages, as they fade out and pass from the mortal realms, transfer into the Feywild. And it's one of the truths of the undead. Nothing ever completely passes. So while something may die here, it continues on as a shadow of itself in the Umbral Athenaeum. With my parents' work there and my work there, I think that's what drew me to Miriam. I had a knack for finding lost things in the libraries.
So you're saying that this Umbral Athenaeum, that books which may have been completely lost to the knowledge of mortals here on the material plane, exist there?
Indeed.
I should very much like to see a place like that. There are numerous texts in my many years of studies that are, well, frankly, legendary among people of my discipline.
It is
nobody who I have understood, who I've ever met, has ever seen them. They are spoken of as ancient lost tomes that could unlock mysteries that many have spent their entire careers trying to decipher.
It is a truly magical place, friend Callow. It is filled with chaotic magics, and the library itself is ever shifting. As the shadows, the I guess what one would call the spirits of those lost books, phase in and out of the library. The name that the Winter Cult calls it is the Umbral Athenaeum, but amongst those that work there, it was always known as the Shifting Stacks.
Which god runs it?
The only god that the Winter Court is willing to follow, and that's Queen Mab herself.
Mab?
Mm-hmm. She is the Queen of Air and Darkness, the ruler of the Winter Court of the Fae. And she rules that part of the Feywild with an iron fist.
Why did you leave the Feywild?
It is a long and sordid story, but let us simply say that I displeased Mab and her court. And it's not so much that I left as I was expelled.
Wow. I'm sorry. That must have been painful.
Why would they do that?
At the time,
Such a hero.
At the time it was, but I realize, looking back, that the cold cruelty of the Winter Fae, that there was probably, and the upbringing that I had, there was probably little else that would have happened to me eventually, whether it was this time or some future offense. Mab is capricious, and I cared little for the politics of the court and cared much more for the library and the things that I could find.
Wow.
Can't say I blame you there, friend. I understand when there's deep and secret knowledge at stake. The petty squabbles of those who use power can seem, well, rather insignificant. I will say, if you've ever had the displeasure to witness a faculty meeting at the Conclave of the Silvery Moon, would understand where I get my views on the subject.
Okay, well, that's really good to know. Thank you. So we will make sure in our travels to prioritize checking out libraries and whatever else we can find that might have a store of knowledge that might help you do whatever it is you need to do. I mean, hopefully our weird trip to this weird pocket of the universe benefits one of us in some way or another.
It's not just
Puredeed will pull out a book and push it over to Lucian. Here's a book. Does this help? It's the one she borrowed from Father Donovich. I'll put the title in the chat.
Well, I'm sure that's a very interesting read. The books that I truly seek out are tomes of magic, wizard spell books, and things like that. I have a connection to my patron, even though it has been fairly quiet here in Barovia. And as he kind of pulls back his cloak a bit, and you can see that he has in the interior pocket is this finely white leather wrapped with silver filigree book that he quite clearly cares for, and he keeps it as close to his heart as he possibly can in the cloak. This tome was gifted me by my patron, and through its pages I can speak directly with her. When I transcribe arcane knowledge and spells into the book, she is able to read those things that I write, even where she is in Candlekeep, being unable to leave it. So as I seek out these spells, and we work together to try to determine a way to free her, finding those types of tomes of magic and inscribing what I can from them into this book is one of my primary responsibilities to Miriam.
So
But
you're
it
saying
has to
this is
be-
a connection. This is a connection to Faerun. You have been able to communicate with that other plane from here in Barovia.
I wish that I could say I have, Callow. I have not heard Miriam's whispers since we came through the first set of gates. I must say this has been the longest time that I have gone without Miriam's whispers falling to me from the shadows in as long as I can remember.
Well, this seems like a more likely place to get you some arcane knowledge than anywhere else we've been in Barovia. Maybe we'll find something. You know, it's funny. We're not so different, you and I. We both made deals with higher powers in order to save our friends.
And
Beatrix, your deal was made willingly? It's not like Lathander just bossed you into it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what would have happened if I could have said no. So that is a good point. But, you know, if it had been a deal, I probably would have said yes. I was willing to do that for my friend.
sometimes we don't know the depths that we'll go to till they're placed before us, and we need but leap.
That's deep. Profound.
Yes, very. Okay, Courage. Or should I say Kirby? What's up?
It's true. Courage isn't my real name.
Is Kirby?
Means Kirby Perdita.
why did you leave your town and change your name?
Because you're never going to read a story about Kirby Perdita. She's never going to save the world or slay the dragon. It's always Falcon Moon or Paladinson or Gravestone, Bloodheart, Swordface. They all have cool names.
Well, why do you feel like you need to prove yourself so much? Like, why leave to prove yourself?
Because no one in Greenleaf is going to be a hero. That's middle of the countryside. It's full of farmers and priests. That's not a good story either.
Where is Greenleaf?
It's... Where's my backstory? I think it's southeast of Candlekeep. I'm actually not sure if Greenleaf is right.
And what is the nature of your relationship with the goddess Shantea?
Like, are we dating?
I mean, that would be interesting, but like in general, it seems a little bit. I don't know. It seems sometimes a little bit like mine with Lathander, like a little bit. There's some friction, maybe. Like she doesn't always give you exactly what you want when you want it.
Oh no, Shantaea's great. It's just what let's see. Just as far as the gods go, how cool is the god of farming? You know?
I mean, we'd all starve without her, so I would say pretty cool.
Look, she doesn't make every plant grow. Okay, plants would still grow. She does do pretty good work. But I left because, like, around the priest or around the temple, you can help a person. You know, you can heal someone, cure some fields, help some crops, say some prayers. But it's just one person, just one field. And that's... you know the story of Tolgar?
No, tell us.
Okay, so Tolgar Nubian he created the Golden Fields, the walled abbey southeast of Tribor. Vast farms, feeds most of the Waterdeep. And you know how he did that? Not by prayers, not by curing wounds. He made a fortune from years of adventuring as a member of the Company of Crazed Adventurers. So he could have just kept helping one person, but went on the adventure and is able to help all of Waterdeep.
So you see going out into the world as a way of amplifying the good that you can do?
Oh yeah.
What do you want to?
All the great people that you read about, they were adventurers. They weren't priests in a temple. You know, they weren't farmers. They Lord Nasher Alagandar, ruler of Neverwinter, adventured with the Northern Four. He wasn't a farmer, he wasn't a priest.
I don't know. All I know is I miss hanging out with farmers all the time. That was who it was in Liam's Holt, too, and it was very restful, and I miss it.
Oh yeah, it was lovely. A very open and free culture. And I'll be honest, Lathander, can you keep a secret? Is he listening?
Yeah, he's almost certainly listening.
Lathander's great. One of the greatest gods. Would love to serve him. If he has open spots, I'm right here.
So you want to cheat on Shantea with her husband?
It's not cheating. I mean, they're just deities. It's like, I don't know, if you leave a village and go to another, it's not like you're cheating on the first mayor with the second. You're just moving.
I don't know. I mean, I have lived with Lathander in my head for a little while now, and I don't think that's what he'd say. But, you know, you're certainly welcome to try. I will say that having him in my head has been, at best, a mixed blessing. And I'm gonna look at the sky and go, sorry, but it's true. And I'm gonna say, look, if when all this is over, I get my friend back, and he stops talking to me, and I go home to Liam's Hold, and I just am a weaver for the rest of my life, I would be so happy with that. That is my ideal outcome. Go home with my friend, and everyone's alive, and I'm a weaver. And Lathander never talks to me again. I would love that.
Hope he doesn't hold a grudge.
He can't. Because, according to what he's been saying, I'm the only one he's got. So, or at least to do whatever particular task he has in mind for me to do. And if that's true, then he can't be so mad at me that he stops talking to me.
It's pretty cool, though. Do you have one of those fancy titles? Like how his clerics are known as Dawnbringers? Or the Order of Aster? All those paladins and fighters? Are you one of those?
You know,
Order of the Saint?
I would technically be entitled to a title like that, but I never stayed long enough at any temple to sort of attach myself. Like, I would sort of show up and be like, hey, have you seen my friend? And they would say, no, and then I would leave. So, like, I don't know, maybe if I'd stuck around, I could have become Lady Beatrix of the first rays of the morning or whatever else, but I didn't care. I just wanted to find my friend.
Why do you hate dolls so much?
Why do I hate what?
Dolls.
What?
Puppets?
Oh, puppets. Oh, why do I hate dolls? No, I just thought it was fucking creepy. I just, like, it was Mad Mary's doll, and then it showed up under your pillow. It was definitely the same doll. It was really fucking creepy. I don't mind dolls in general. I just mind creepy dolls who show up in places where they're not supposed to.
That was Mary's doll?
It was Mary's doll, yes.
And I don't know if we call her mad, maybe like...
Okay, reality challenged Mary.
Sad Mary.
Courage, I can't help but notice that you've turned these questions around. That is, we were trying to learn more about why you left home and what it is that you're seeking for. You suddenly are asking many more questions of Beatrix than you're answering.
That's a good point. That's an interrogation technique.
What is it that you left home for? Was it simply to become a famous adventurer, or was there more to it than that?
It was just that simple. You want to know why I left?
I do.
I turned 20. And fate made me promise not to leave till I turned 20.
Fate made you promise not to leave.
Faith. I'm sorry. My mom.
Oh, faith. I see. So you would have had you not made a promise like that, you would have left earlier.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna piss off my mom. A promise is a promise.
How does she feel about the fact that you left?
I mean, we don't agree on everything, obviously. She thought, well, for one, she thought Kirby was a good name.
I think it's a good name. I think it's cute. I bet you out there are stories about a hero Kirby. I bet you there's Kirbys who fight in their way.
As people meet Lord Nasher Alagandar, say that's a cute name.
Well, maybe what Shantea hoped for you would be that you would become the first famous, heroic Kirby.
The first heroic Kirby, and the first hero of Shantea. Funny.
But that explains why you waited until you were 20 to leave home. But it doesn't explain why you wanted to go in the first place. Simply just to make a name for yourself? That's all, really.
To do more, to help more people. That's...
Where did you travel first?
I visited Burdusk, made the rounds, visited the temples, didn't really connect there. Let's see, Malil, Lord of Song, Agna, Patron of Bards, Affable. I thought I'd have a chance with Helm, but it's kind of a hard end.
Wait a minute. So you've been auditioning your services to gods who are not Shantea.
Yeah. Not all of us just were walk-ons to the big guy.
I think that... I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, how do you think people start serving a god?
Well, I don't know. I don't have that much experience with it, except for the one who, showed up talking in my head, but, it seems like a kind of a special relationship. And maybe the only way to tap into your real power is to embrace what you have.
You gotta put
Without which, I remind you, we would all die. I mean, look at these people. So little grows here. You think they're happy? You think they need a little Shantea? They've got the Morning Lord. How much good is he doing them? Sorry!
Oh my gosh. We should play God or Fraud.
Maybe after everybody else has told us a little bit about what they're doing here.
Okay.
But yes, that would be fun. Well, what about Elandra?
Yes, Miss Elandra, do you too have a voice in your head that's telling you what you should be doing?
No, I just have a vial.
A vial that tells you what to do.
It does whisper. I don't know that it tells me what to do, but I am curious about it.
That's cool. Can we see it?
Yeah, I'll just,
Okay.
kind of pull it out, and you'll see this, shiny silver liquid that moves around on its own. And I came from the Lunar Glade in the High Forest. I was always surrounded by night blooming plants, and there was an event that happened where we were attacked and they tried to take our moonstone. The old guards prevented them from taking it, but the next day I found this vial and I've been carrying it around with me ever since. But yeah, it sort of whispers, and I tend to follow the direction and sense of where it's leading me. And that's kind of how I ended up in Daggerford. I had these visions of going there and learning things and finding plants and trying to understand what's going on. I follow Eldath, the goddess of peace, and basically just have a pretty modest lifestyle. I don't, nothing too fancy. I run around with the essentials, some books and herbs, and I'm just trying to help people.
How long ago was your community attacked, and by whom?
I was young. It was, let me go back to my backstory. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Elandra, while you think of
Yeah.
it, I remembered one more.
Good.
You know, why not be a priest? I said Greenfields. I meant Greenest. But the great priestess we had there, the one we tell stories about, Iadyan Falcon Moon, cool name, was a priest during an attack by cultist raiders. And you know what she did? She gathered people in the temple. And they hid. You know who stopped the cultists? The real champion, Marketh, Sergeant of the Guards. Alright? If you could only have one of those two, which would you want?
Well, that's a really weird counterfactual, Courage. Because
Well, so it's
we
saying
can't-
that we'd all
we
die
can't-
without Shantea.
we can't know what people would have done from inside the temple.
Yeah. We know what someone
Ordinary
did.
people can be capable of surprising stuff.
Funniest part, Greenest wasn't even like founded by Shantea or a priest or a farmer even. Founded by Darva Scatterheart, cool name, as part of an alliance with the Shadow Thieves. So like, who gets shit done? Those people. And me. Sorry, Alana.
That's okay. No, from what I wrote in my backstory, it was a malevolent force. So it was just an evil force. That's all I know of it.
Do you have any idea what's in the vial?
No.
Have you
No, I
ever
don't.
opened it?
No. Doesn't seem safe to open.
You smelled it?
No. No, I've
What
never
kinds of
opened
things does it say? Just like go this way, go that way. Does it ever give reasons or elaborate or anything?
No, I just get a feeling, sort of a vibe on, and then I have visions of direction and where to go.
Has it ever steered you wrong?
You tell me.
If you're here, it might have.
So now we have tallied it up, and out of 5 of us, 4 are following a mysterious voice in their head. So
That's interesting.
maybe we shouldn't be so salty about the one of us whose god showed up in a dream and is very straightforward about that.
Shantae
What about
doesn't-
you, Callow? Any mysterious voices you want to divulge?
One, Shantae is not
No.
mysterious. Not a voice in my head. She's pretty chill, actually.
Well, as you say, Ms. Beatrix, it did not escape my notice that a large portion of our party appears to be guided by directions from a source that they cannot fully themselves explain or comprehend. I myself am not guided by any sort of spirit or voice or vial. I'm simply an explorer. If I have to be honest, I'm guided by my own whims and curiosity. I was, for many centuries, a professor of natural philosophy at the Conclave of Silvery Moon, as I believe I have already stated. And, well, after enough years of service, enough years grading papers, enough years molding and shaping the future minds that will lead and influence this world, the time comes to hang it all up and retire. And I suppose as long as I am still able to make my own way on my own 2 feet, I might as well see a bit more of the world. To be honest, for many centuries I saw mostly the inside of my office in the Conclave of Silvery Moon. And, well, I suppose it would be best to experience a bit of the world. Now, I can't say that Barovia was exactly what I had in mind when I set out to see new locales and discover new peoples and places. It's certainly been enlightening and interesting, although I'm a bit disturbed by the idea of perhaps not being able to leave. As I said, I'd like to continue traveling, and well, eventually I suppose one must settle down somewhere and live out the rest of one's days, but I'm not sure this is the place that I'd like to do that in.
Understandable. Well, okay, so I want to get my friend back. Lucian wants to get his friend back. Courage wants to be a hero. Callow wants to know things. Elandra wants... what?
Definitely want to know what this liquid is eventually, and
And you mentioned mushrooms.
definitely always on the hunt for mushrooms and night plants.
Is that more like a hobby?
Sure.
Oh. I believe you.
Is anything a hobby?
Well, now you're getting as deep as Lucian.
I don't think anyone could be as deep as Lucian.
I take that as a compliment.
You should.
So as we are all sharing, I have to admit I've far more often been comfortable in the presence of books in quiet spaces than I have in inns and taverns and wine rooms. I have not had many that I would call friend or companion. I don't know if this is an odd question, but I have spent so many years in study. I find it amazing that so many of you sought out adventure and set out so quickly. I don't know what the consideration is amongst the other races, but I find myself wondering how young each of you are.
Oh, good question. Okay, so I am a half elf. My dad's the elf. My mom is the human mortal. And I am... Well, they fell in love. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, my dad was the bodyguard of an elf noble who came to our town because my mom and her family are famous weavers. And my dad saw my mom, and boom. So he left his employer and stayed in Liamshold and became the head of the town watch. And then they had me. So yes, I am 28. And I have not spent much time outside of Liamshold, but I was my mom's apprentice and then journeyman for a long time, and I was about to start weaving my masterwork when I left. And I was married, although I'm not sure whether or not I am still married. I do not have kids, which is one of the reasons why I'm not sure whether or not I'm still married. I had a best friend, and that's my life.
You were married? You are married.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Simon, human Simon. Simon was my mom's other apprentice. And we had a fling when we were like 22, 23. That definitely should have stayed a fling, but everybody got overexcited, especially my mom, who was like, oh, yay, heirs to my weaving empire. And so we got married, and it was fun for a while. And then he started getting really intense about wanting to have kids and was like, oh, I want to see them grow old. And I was like, well, I'm going to do that anyway because I'm a half-elf. And he didn't like that. And so we weren't on good terms. And when Lathander called me to go on my mission to free my friend, Simon said that if I left, he would divorce me. And so I presume he has done that.
So the two of you became intertwined and then tied the knot, and it's become frayed. Classic
I
Weaver
guess so.
story.
Yeah. There we go.
Isn't it interesting, Lucian, when you ask one question and you get the answer to several more?
Well, okay, he wasn't just asking how old we are. He was asking about our life circumstance and why we left.
I was literally just... I'm 327. I'll share first.
Ace?
There was a whole lot of questions behind the questions.
What day is it? I'm 20.
It's Monday.
I'm 155.
Was this like the older person pays for drinks? Hello.
Well, I am. If I'm being quite honest, at a certain point I stopped counting.
Do you have a
It
guess?
seems, somewhere north of 500.
Amazing.
But, not quite sure exactly where that might be. Probably not yet 600, but I could find out if I thought about it.
Day over 230.
Do you know your birthday?
Well, see, that's the thing. When you stop counting, you stop acknowledging your birthday, and it just it's been at least a few centuries since I've had any sort of birthday party, if I'm being honest.
Do you have it written down somewhere?
It's somewhere, sure. Presumably back home, somewhere in my office. Hasn't been much of something that is needed. It's not really something that gnomes tend to pay a great deal of attention to after a certain point. I suppose I could just as easily ask any of you, how many days old are you? And might be a similar sort of question. You can figure it out, but it's not something that you keep track of.
So you're definitely the oldest, so you're definitely buying the next round.
Well, if those are the rules, I suppose that's true.
What are we doing tomorrow?
Well, I think we had a plan to go check out the priory and see what happened to the missing priest. Look, I know you all think that the burgomaster / new priest is very sketchy. Lathander told me to trust him. So I am not willing to do anything directly opposing him until I have proof that he is a slimeball. But I will help look for the missing priest.
What exactly did the Morning Lord tell you about Burgomeister Valakovich?
He said, Beatrix, while I was listening, during the preaching, I sort of said in my head, okay, this seems a little weird. Is this correct? Will you speak to me? And for the first time since we got here, he said, Beatrix, these are my people. Trust. And he did not clarify. I asked follow-up questions, and he did not clarify.
No,
Probably talking about the four of us.
Or simply the congregation. All of the other worshippers that were in the church.
Maybe.
But he did not say, this is my voice, or this man speaks for me, or this is my chosen one, in reference to Valakovich.
No, but if he said trust while the man was speaking, surely that implies a correlation, right?
Was he telling you to trust in your friends, trust in your own judgment, trust in your faith?
Well, it seemed to me he was telling me to trust in the people who are following the priest.
Well, it's typically a transitive verb. It does require some sort of direct object, so if that was unstated, then it's unclear what he may have been referring to.
I think we can learn more tomorrow, right?
Is that like
If I may ask, Lucian, just clarify for me here. Your patroness, this Miriam, others at Candlekeep have communicated with her and have attested to her wisdom and her existence, correct?
Whether they attest to her wisdom or not, I can't speak to, but certainly she is known about Candlekeep. She is an undead spirit, and she makes herself known to many who frequent the Great Library. The Grand Archivist and Grand Masters of the Keep can call upon her in defense. There are many historical texts talking about the Milram the Silver, the Wind Rider, Icebiter, Saint of Half Passing, defending Candlekeep over the last few centuries when it has come under attack.
But you yourself have spoken with other individuals who have communicated.
I have.
She sounds cool as hell.
She is quite impressive.
Does she ever let you ride her, like flying around?
She is an undead spirit, lacking in corporeal form.
So not like bones.
I don't believe that she would really let anyone ride her.
Can we talk about everyone's spells and powers?
Sure. I can find disease, stuff with good and evil, gardening tips.
Would love to hear your gardening tips.
They aren't always great, I'll be honest. I do like though. I don't know how much you know about Chantea, but we believe spending your wedding night on a freshly tilled field guaranteed a fertile marriage.
And
Well,
freshly tilled field is not a euphemism, correct? You're being quite literal.
Yeah. Oh no, we. Sometimes the priests, as part of the wedding service, we'd go out plowing so they can be plowing.
Freshly till your field on a freshly
till
tilled
those
field.
fields. Ready for plowing. I can't.
But anyway, yeah, those kind of powers got you covered.
Sound great.
Good to know.
Anyone else?
Yeah, so most of my capacities are kind of martial. So, for example, I can. Alchemy thinks I've been idle for a while. No, I fucking haven't. Shut up. I can mark a foe if it's running away from me, and figure out where it went. I can deploy shields to help me or an ally defend against an enemy. I can cure wounds on a limited basis, although I don't think it's quite as powerful as what Courage can do. I can give blessings. I can also do whatever the opposite of a blessing is to our enemies. A curse. I can curse our enemies, so they'll be unlucky in battle. And I can command people to do what I want on a fairly limited basis.
Yeah, we saw that here.
That's amazing.
It's kind of fun. Relatively new powers. I mean, I was always pretty good with the glaive. Dad taught me, but I've been able
Just a
to.
big needle, right?
Sorry, what?
A glaive is just a big sewing needle.
Not really, but it's cute that you think so.
I'm stitched.
Yeah, so that's what I can do.
How about you, Elandra? I would swear that when we were facing down those wolves, you yourself turned into one.
Yes, I can wild shape into many things.
What's the coolest thing you've turned into?
What would you think is cool? Like, are we talking a bug or a bird?
It's like a hawk, falcon.
Unfortunately, I have not been able to wild shape into a flying creature quite yet. But I also have I'm gonna just like raise my hand and snow's gonna start falling.
Dang!
Yeah,
That's the end
a
of.
couple secret things. I can cure wounds and I can heat metal.
Good to know that there are several of us who could, in theory, heal each other in emergency.
I can also summon beasts.
What kind of
Like
beasts?
eagles.
Good question. I don't know. Small beasts. I don't know what quantifies as small beasts in Dungeons and Dragons.
I'd say I'll tell you if it's ridiculously out of line, but mostly
Alright.
just assume it's okay. Like,
What's an example? Can someone give me an example of a small beast in this game?
yeah, like badgers, foxes, squirrel. I
Okay.
think of it
And you turn
like
into a
woodland
weasel.
Like, I don't
Weasel.
think of those as beasts.
animals. It means animals.
All right.
Anything that would help Cinderella get ready for a ball.
That's
Yeah!
a great.
Perfect. Thank you.
Like wolves, too big. I think they would not
Okay.
be small.
Baby wolf.
Yeah, maybe wolf cubs. Oh, that would be so cute.
Gotta find some wolf cubs. Put it to the test.
Yummy.
How about you, Lucian? Much of a healer?
Quite the opposite, actually. My powers are a mixture of combat-focused offensive spells, and some few small pieces that let me influence or curse others.
How about you, Callow? What else can you pull out of a bottle?
Well, I don't suppose I have powers in the same sense as many of the others of you, but I can set my mind to creating various potions and tinctures and solutions that serve a number of different purposes. And, well, I can generally, if I have a bit of time and some components at my disposal, I can whip up just about any sort of tincture that we may require. I can certainly create some solutions that may be helpful for healing purposes, but often I'm finding myself drawn to the sorts of potions that may be helpful for distracting or incapacitating potential threats. I am myself not the greatest fighter in physical combat, being rather small of stature and not as spry as I used to be. So making sure to keep any potential threats at a distance is usually my aim with the various materials that I concoct.
Beatrix is gonna clap Callow on the shoulder pretty hard and go, "Well, you shoot pretty good too." And like sort of harder than she means to, because she's had a couple glasses of wine.
Yeah, thank you. I know. I appreciate that. That was a the addition of the crossbow to my pack was a suggestion from my niece before I went out on my adventuring. She suggested that I needed something that was not simply one of my various brews.
Tell us about your niece.
Oh, well, she is also, as it happens, a faculty member at the Conclave of Silvery Moon. She's, the son of the daughter of my only brother, who is since passed. She is a generally very, very agreeable lass. That's mostly all there is to it. She seems to care for me deeply, and I would say I feel similarly fond of her.
She's a professor like you?
Yes, indeed. Yes, she's a professor.
In what area?
Hold, please. Well, she happens to be a bard, as it may be. She teaches at the House of the Harp, which is one of the bardic colleges within the Conclave of Silvery Moon.
I thought you hated bards.
Well, see, it's not so much that I hate all bards. It's that there are a number of people of that persuasion that, give those sorts of arts a bad name with their behavior, if you get my drift. Brigida, my niece, she is a scholar. She is a professor. She has devoted her life to perfecting these sorts of arts, the blending of performance and artistry with magic and useful tools. And at the House of the Harp, they do indeed focus on those sorts of uses. But there are many who call themselves bards, who travel about the land, who frankly are no more than charlatans. They are swindlers and devious con men, and, well, there are legitimate ways that one can employ the bardic arts, and there are ways that prey on the gullibility of the average person in ways that I frankly cannot condone.
I've known bards that would sell their soul for something really stupid, like a good rapier.
Exactly. This.
Bravo, Sally. Bravo.
You have hit it exactly, Miss Beatrix.
Hearing Silvery Moon, Elandra's gonna just show some piqued interest, and it might be noticeable.
Well, she sounds very cool. I don't know who I want to meet first, your niece or his dragon.
Either way.
No one wants to meet my ex-husband. It's okay. You shouldn't want to meet him. He's boring.
If, with whomever we wish to meet from each other's paths, we have to figure out some way of getting out of Barovia first before that can ever happen. And I feel like we're no closer to finding a means to leave than we were before we walked through those gates.
But we are closer to each other.
A very priestly answer.
No, that was so stupid.
Lucian kind of shivers a little bit and immediately begins having a coughing fit.
Oh no.
Well, on that note, we should probably all go to sleep. That is definitely the note to end on. That should be the end of the evening.
What are we
Great.
doing in the morning?
Hopefully
I don't
waking up.
need sleep.
What do you do at night?
Seeks out, looks for mushrooms.
Yep. Just find plants.
Just walking around licking spores. Nope, that one doesn't.
Calandra's like always high.
Oh god.
No, that one was not edible.
Sounds about right.
We'll see what Arena and Ismark want to do. If they want to leave town, then we can start on that. And if we're here for a bit, maybe we find some missing people.
Or some missing wine. Could also do that.
Yep.
Mine is the people of beverages. All right, good night, everyone. We'll let you know if Arena and Ismark are missing.
All right. You all head up to bed, or to
Emily's still here.
This has been amazing. I've got great notes for this session, unlike last session. I assume you all head up to bed, or Elandra, you're going outside to lick some mushrooms.
Yep.
Great. We'll say, I think I would assume you would stay fairly close to the inn to lick your mushrooms.
Yes, I'm not gonna wander far.
Arena and Ismark are upstairs, sound asleep. This has been a really difficult few weeks for them, and they're very exhausted. They're finally in what feels like a safe place. So they're sleeping that like deep sleep of, sort of some safety and comfort at long last. Those of you that go to sleep, head to bed. But Callow, in the middle of the night, you're woken by a pinging in your brain. And we're going to take a break there. All right. So you guys went to sleep. Elandra's licking some mushrooms outside. And Callow, you get a ping in your head.
Remind me where we are all sleeping. What was the...
You guys are sleeping upstairs. There's a room
but
of
the,
4.
like, room arrangement.
Yeah, it's like a room of 4 and a room of 2. And I believe Arena and Ismark were both going to sleep in the room of 4. Is that correct?
Yeah.
In the girls' room?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But Ismark is a girl for these purposes.
Okay.
So you're in a room with Lucian?
There might be a handout you can look at to see the layout.
Yeah, no, I remember the handout. I was more... was more thinking about the... who was in each room. Okay. Is Lucian asleep, or is Lucian just like sitting there in his like weird trance?
Are we are we more than 4 hours into the rest, or are we still in the first 4?
You're more than 4 hours into the rest.
At this point, Lucian's done meditating. You wake up to find me like, reading by moonlight near whatever window is available.
Okay. But Callow has not gotten a long rest yet, correct?
Correct. Right. Definitely a short rest.
Right. Didn't need that. All right.
I'm assuming you guys went to bed around midnight, to be clear.
So it's like 4 a.m.
Callow, you think to yourself, feels like it's about 5:30 a.m.
5:30 a.m. Great. So he immediately wakes up from the ping and sees Lucian sitting reading again by the window. The seal has been broken. Someone's entered the parsonage.
Lucian is he closes his book, turns to Callow. Do you want to make our way there to see if we can catch someone, or would you rather be more clandestine in nature?
Well, I think probably best to at least survey the situation before we go charging in anywhere. See what we may see. I don't believe that the spell that I set would have been triggered by something as simple as a rat or an animal walking past. I believe somebody would have had to enter the door, open the door, and enter inside.
That's actually a decision you get to make, Connor, when you cast the spell.
Well, that's my
So we
way
can
of
say
retconning and saying that. That it
perfect. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, it would have been like opening the door. Like that was how I cast it. Like somebody walking inside, not just like.
Okay.
We're still awake. There was still a pin, giving that retcon.
Yes.
Okay. I'd say we at least should see what's going on. Make sure we're at least aware of what's happening. I'm suspicious of this burgomaster, and well, I can't imagine that he's as trustworthy as Miss Beatrix would suggest.
While you ready yourself, do you want me to wake the others?
I suppose so. Although if we're trying to be clandestine, perhaps a smaller group, maybe wiser? I don't know. I don't rightly know whether or not we are better off going on our own or... About
how far is the inn from the parsonage?
I'd say like a 7-minute walk feels right.
If we get close enough, but yet, keep ourselves hidden, I could send Carradine, and I gesture toward my staff that's leaning in the corner with a sleeping owl atop it. We'd have to be within, 100 feet or so. But he is my familiar. I can see through his eyes, hear through his ears. We could send him aloft or try to have him fly in to see what he sees. They would simply see a dark barn owl, but we'd have to do it from a place where we're within that distance, and where I would be susceptible to anything around me. It's like being in a trance or a meditation. I won't be able to hear you when I'm in that state.
Would I have sensed anything going on here in my outdoor mushroom licking?
No,
It's almost done, man.
I assume Elandra does have to do a trance for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So she can
That's
either
what the mushrooms are for.
Right.
That's what the mushrooms are for. No, she doesn't sense anything.
All right.
Assuming she's still like at the inn. So.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to me that Carradine would be our best route as far as surveillance goes. But if you're essentially completely vulnerable in that state, I'm not sure that I alone would be able to defend us both should something set upon us.
Do we want to seek out Elandra? She's probably awake by this point, or do we want to just wake up everyone and see if they how quickly they can don their armor?
Well, we have to make a decision fast. Let's see if we can wake them all. Let's do what we can. Perhaps if there are more of us, but we still have a way to get closer to the parsonage without being as obvious through the use of Carradine, it won't be as dangerous to be in a larger group.
So while Callow is getting up and donning his gear, Lucian is going to go and at the door next to us.
Smooth.
That was me, goofball.
What is it?
Hey.
Hello? I'm gonna say Courage was in the bed by the door.
That's on you, Jake. That's
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna say that's
totally.
on
Here, bud. Come here, handsome.
Oh.
Miles. Miles.
Is your microphone
Hold
on?
Oh. There we go, sorry. 1 second. I had something for this.
It's me.
Courage will open the door. What is it?
Callow's spell has been triggered. Someone has entered the parsonage. Ready yourselves quick. We want to make our way over there to see if we can determine who is sneaking about the place this late.
Yeah, immediately. Beatrix. And then
Yeah.
just get from the door
Yeah.
to go jump on Beatrix.
What? Ah! I don't want to. Beatrix is gonna have flail around.
It's go time.
What? Outside? What happened?
They say there's trouble.
There's okay. And Beatrix is gonna start pulling her mail on, grabbing
No, there's
her
no
stuff.
time. Let's go.
Ah!
I'm
She's
drop
gonna
it
hop
in
with
Discord.
one leg in her pants. Like,
Courage is wearing what's the Shantea vestment she's been using as sleepwear. It looks like what's in the Discord chat, but more green and pink. She runs over, grabs her mace and shield. We gotta go now, let's go. And out the door.
okay. And Beatrix is sort of pulling on her clothes. She's grabbing her shield. She's got her glaive. She puts it on her back. She's like, okay. And she starts following down the stairs, sort of
In the
clumping.
Is it that like busty?
Yeah, I guess
Uh,
Courage got boobs.
I don't think so.
No, but I'm
She's
just
taller,
in terms of
but
the
not
plunging neckline.
Oh yeah, it has that. Shantea be fertile.
While they are getting dressed, Lucian has grabbed his staff with Carradine, and I've made my way downstairs looking for Elandra.
Where might he find you, Elandra?
I feel like I don't have a good picture of where the outside. I think I would probably just be like, if there were, is there like a porch or some chairs somewhere outside that I could be sitting at, looking at the moon?
We'll say there's like a stoop. I feel like
Okay.
there is a picture in the. I'm afraid to like click away on this page.
That's okay.
I imagine lying in the middle of the dirt street, looking at the stars.
Yeah, I'm meditating with the moon.
Colors, and making like dirt angels.
Dirt angels.
Oh, you guys.
It's such nature.
Just
Yeah, there's not-
meditating with the moon. That's all I'm doing.
All of it. You're not far from the front, though.
No, as close to the front where there's a chair or someplace to sit.
Yeah. There's like an overhang that kind of has, we'll say, like an old chair sort of pulled up against the wall. It's not like a formal sitting area, but it's clear that like sometimes people chill out here, probably to smoke.
Excellent. That's where I will be.
It doesn't take Callow too long to get ready. He doesn't really have armor that takes significant amount of time to don. Just a simple leather vest. So you just kind of throw that on and mostly just grab his little pack of vials and be off down the stairs.
All right. Do you all wait for each other to catch up to go?
Courage comes flying out the front door in her Shantae nightwear. She's casted light on her mace. Just flying out. Let's go!
Beatrix is sort of gaining her. So she's waking up as she's sort of stumbling after, and she's got her chainmail on, but the clothing underneath it is clearly really rumpled. Like she's armored and stuff, but normally it sort of like looks flat, but you can tell there's like a nightshirt like bunched up under the armor, and she's walking a little more slowly, and she's like, okay, Barb's here.
Lucian, you can see in the dark, right?
Indeed.
We'll grab your hand, and the mace will go dark. Lead me.
How dark is it outside? Is it like? I mean, you said it's like
some, like,
5:30.
Pre-dawn light.
Okay. So it's dim light, but it's not dark out.
Yes, I'd say that's right. Like, and you all would probably be accustomed to being able to see more by like moonlight, which is definitely a thing. Tom's shaking his head, but like moonlight, not Courage.
Morning person. Never seen the moon.
Never seen the moon. Okay. Even in like the depths of winter. Okay. And I'll note that Beatrix definitely like thinks that her chainmail is on, but it's kind of like draped around her neck since it takes like 10 minutes to don armor. Yeah. So she's like, I'm ready. I look great. She sort of has like one arm in. Very funny looking.
Right. Have I realized that this is a problem yet? Or no?
It's more like the time it will take for you to fix it. If you would like to stay back and spend, an additional 7 minutes finishing donning your armor properly, you are welcome to do that. Or if you prefer, Beatrix is just a muddled mess and like thinks that
Beatrix is a mess. She's gonna keep walking, and she's gonna slowly realize that there's a problem as she's walking, and she's gonna try to sort of like be as she's walking and fixing it. Yeah.
Girl, it's just not working.
I'm gonna try to run up and help with this situation.
All right, so Elandra trying to help Beatrix
Yes.
with armor. Meanwhile, Courage and Lucian have darted off into the morning.
Lucian is very uncomfortable holding hands.
Very uncomfortable.
Very
Princess.
uncomfortable.
I'm so sorry. I know you're uncomfortable. It's the only way.
It's like a dead hand. He's returning no pressure whatsoever. It's just a cold, dead hand.
But if I put my arm in your arm, is that hand?
That's even worse.
Hold my mace.
What's Callow?
Callow was doing his best to keep up. I suppose with a speed of 25 feet and the rest of them all having presumably speeds of 30 feet. If they're all going as fast as they can, eventually Callow will start to fall behind.
Courage and Lucian are figuring out this hand versus arm situation, so we can say you catch up to them as they're like reorchestrating themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that Beatrix and Elandra, while trying to deal with Beatrix's armor, are able to actually go at top speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're definitely not.
But Lucian I am not running. I know full well that if I try to exert myself like that, I will start coughing uncontrollably, which will only alert everyone around us that people are moving through the streets. Additionally, even though it's just pre-dawn, and there might be some people beginning to wake or move about the city, I'm going to move as quietly as possible at regular speed.
All right. Anyone that is intentionally trying to be quiet. So I assume this is Lucian and Courage and maybe Callow.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Is Courage trying to be quiet?
Yeah, that's a question for Courage.
Yeah. She's in stealth mode.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
All right.
Ditto.
17.
Oh, is that a natural 20?
That is.
You are also. I picture Lucian's like running pace in any scenario, not just this one, to be the serial killer walk. Like where they like
Yeah.
seem to be going just as fast as the runners, but they're like at a calm walking pace. It's that.
How far do you think they are away from us as we're futzing with the armor?
I would say like they end up being like 2 or 3 minutes ahead of you in the grand trajectory of the 7-minute walk.
So
Maybe
more
2
than
minutes.
30 feet?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
By the end, like obviously, it sort of gets progressively more distant.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, those of you trying to be stealthy, you are very stealthy. Fade into the early pre-dawn light.
I hate to do this, but did Courage put on her armor before she left, or did you just come running out? You're just in the. That's right.
Yep. She's got an AC of 11.
But no disadvantage on stealth.
But no disadvantage on stealth.
That's why we do it. Noticing you taking your time, I can. If you get on my back, tell me where to go.
No. No.
Are you all gonna wait for us at some point, or are you just gonna keep on going?
The Rattle Brigade can catch up whenever they like.
All right.
Yeah, Elandra, if you want to like give this up as a lost cause, you're welcome to do that.
No.
How much have we been able to get done? Like, would this be a dex challenge? Like what? Like.
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's just 10 minutes. So like metagame picture is like Courage ran out without armor, so she's if you guys get into a fight, she's gonna have a lower AC because she didn't want to spend the 10 minutes to put it on. If you want to, that's totally fine. Thus the like, it's kind of around your neck. Like have some of it.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to be keeping sort of shuffling.
Yeah, feel free. You could shuffle along behind and catch up, and
We'll make it eventually.
because I would say like you got like a good 3 minutes into it before you all left.
Yeah.
And
So
then
I
it's
got one arm in.
Do we get to go faster because I helped? I'm helping?
Yeah, because I've got a squire.
Yeah, I'll give you know what I will give you like I will say instead of taking much longer to get there, because it's 7 minutes walk if you're like walking with purpose and deliberateness. If you're not doing that, it's gonna take like 10 to 12 minutes. So we'll say if you have Elandra helping you, I'm trying to think.
Wow.
You're not really, well, that's the thing, right? Like, do you guys stop and work on this together? Or in which case I'll take the time for donning the armor down. Or do you prefer, let's see, for donning the armor down, or if you're both working on it, I'll just say it takes you slightly less more time to get there, if that makes sense. It's up to you.
I'm wondering, sorry, I'm going to ask this question.
Okay.
If we just stop and do this, because then I can use like Long Strider to get us there faster.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
so
do
you're
that.
you're still gonna be standing there for like, I'd say
Yeah.
you'll still probably arrive a good 2 minutes behind them.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay. So meanwhile, the other three.
So
y'all-
Callow is sort of hopping behind the other two and trying to see. So is the plan still to send Carradine ahead? We don't need to get all the way to the parsonage. We only need to get within 100 feet. You said.
Yes, if we can get close enough for me to send Carradine aloft, I can see through his eyes while the two of you keep me safe. Maybe we can identify who is inside rather than just running through the door and alerting whomever may be there.
That sounds like the wisest course of action to me. That as we should find a place to securely set ourselves once we are near enough to the parsonage. Does that work for you, Miss Courage?
That sounds great. I can't see shit.
You glow in the pre-dawn light with your pale moonlit skin.
Looking fab.
You are looking fab. She looks great. Because, Courage, she work out.
But you notice she is a couple inches shorter because she's barefoot.
Fun
Are
fact
those
I
some
learned tonight.
embroidered flowers on there, like they're like.
Oh yeah, Shantae.
Emily, what is the fun fact you learned tonight?
Courage wears heeled boots.
Oh!
Your characters would all know this because you see her wearing them, but Emily did not know this until Tom showed his Hero Forge mini in all of her incredible glory to his niece and nephew.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Beatrix is taller.
She looks real good in the heeled boots, though, gotta say. Oh, yeah, there we are. God, your feet must hurt so much at the end of the day.
Wow, those are some heels, yeah.
All right. So, you guys get within 100 feet.
Yes. Is there a place within 100 feet? What is within 100 feet of the parsonage? Is there some place where we can sort of hide ourselves?
Like a darkened corner at a building or an intersection, some place where we can see the parsonage, but can remain hidden.
Yeah, so because of the way that the road bends, ooh, you know what? I bet I can give this to you as a handout if I didn't already do it. Yeah, I can do it. All right, give me a moment, and I will send you a map. This isn't the right thing. Add handout. That's the thing I want. Might take a moment to get it.
I think on the way, Shantae is like, yeah, we're gonna get that fucker. We got him now. Yeah.
Oh, do I not have it downloaded? No, I do. Okay. It's uploading. Sorry, we're going real slow.
No worries.
Okay, and now I have to share it.
All the worries.
All the worries. Yep, I'll allow everyone to see it. Okay.
It's a Barney. It's a Barney.
What's up with
It's
that?
Leisure
Hey,
Barney.
bud.
What's up with that leisure leg off the edge of the couch there,
Yeah.
bud?
I know, right?
Barney.
There's a bug.
Playboy Barney.
Everyone says hi, bud. He wags his tail. He's wagging his tail to say hi back.
No.
All right. You should all be able to see this map of Valaki,
Yes.
or Valaki,
Yes.
as Tom says. So I don't know if you're able to zoom in. I don't know if I can make it bigger.
You edit it.
But
There,
you
should,
can-
there should be an option to do wide view instead in the
Uh-huh.
settings for the handout.
Open full screen.
You can
Bam.
also just do command plus, and that'll zoom you in.
Oh, okay, great.
It'll zoom everything in, but
So this map is very convenient in that they have highlighted most of the relevant locations with the red roofs. So
Weird.
I love this. I know, right? So the Blue Water Inn where you guys are staying is that red roofed building in the middle of town. At where the intersections all are. The church is, if you're looking at the map, it's the big red building on the far left, and you can kind of tell it has a cemetery and
Gotcha.
some other smaller buildings and a fence. Yep, so that's where it is.
and the parsonage is the building right next to that.
I would say the parsonage is that slightly bigger building that's towards the back.
Towards the back of the.
So there's 3 tiny buildings inside the fence.
Oh yes, I
To
see.
the left
Oh,
of it, yeah.
I thought those were meant to be
Mausoleums
graves or something.
Oh, you know what? Maybe there. We'll say the parsonage is on the other side. Great plan.
So to the right.
To the right.
Of,
Yeah.
got it.
That'll be the parsonage.
With the grayish, bluish roof. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So
And
then
we're
as
coming down
far
that
as-
main thoroughfare, correct?
Correct.
Do we see anyone on that thoroughfare?
5:30 a.m. No, I don't think so. This is Emily's world, where people don't usually get up this early, but maybe sometimes.
All right. So is there like is there like a tree or something that we could at least just hide behind, or
Like
a low stone wall or something that we could lean
Looks
against?
like that tree behind it. Like if you sneak past, like in the.
Yeah, you could walk between those two narrow buildings and get behind that tree.
I mean, I'd love to not get like within the sort of the grounds of the parsonage, so to speak. Like,
You could also probably see it from that intersection that has the building that's got like smoke coming out of it. That's what it looks like. But yeah, I'm happy to say that there's a place that you guys find that you could reasonably hide close by.
okay.
Lucian is gonna, whatever darkened corner or area that we have, he's gonna plant his staff. He's gonna bend his head toward Carradine and closes his eyes, and then as they reopen, they're just completely black, but with like kind of orange outlines around, like dark orange outlines around where the irises would have been. And Carradine's eyes open and they're the same color, and he takes off up into the sky toward the parsonage.
All right.
And telepathically, I'm going to give him the command to try and quietly, stealthily see if he can't find windows or something that lets him look into the parsonage where he might be able to alight and get me a view.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna hate this. Shantae, guide you. Cast guidance on Lucian.
Now, just like technical question there. Lucian is able to speak,
So I can, so
but can't hear or see anything.
correct.
Gotcha.
Or
So
feel.
if you guys tap me or touch me, I'll feel that, but I won't like Courage casting that on me. I wouldn't have felt anything. I wouldn't have seen or known that she did that.
2 seconds later, you feel a poke. And Callow, you hear, can you feel that? Can you feel that?
Go ahead and make a stealth check for your Raven, but I think or Raven, right?
Owl.
Owl. Dang, sorry, I
okay.
don't know why I forgot that. But using the owl's stats since it's a stealth.
So it's a D20 plus 3. So let's just roll a D20.
Carradine is an owl.
So that's going to be a 10.
10. Okie dokie. Yeah, so so Carradine flies up and is able to look in the window. I would say it's around 7 minutes. Nope, not yet. Meanwhile, Beatrix and Elandra are like still in the road, like fixing Beatrix's armor and like trying to pull her arm out of the whole armhole where she like put it in wrong. But so they're back there doing funny things. Sorry, I've got to pull up their stats.
So many straps.
So many straps. Turns out chainmail is real tough, guys. Ooh, that was bad. Okay. Some none for him. Yeah, I think we're just gonna say Ooh, that's really good. Okay, so as Carradine flies up to the window and looks inside, and there are a couple windows here, you can see there's sort of a low fire in the grate, and you/Carradine, go ahead and make a perception check for me. But I think using your stats, I believe.
Yeah, it's okay. You see,
It's usually
it's the same either way.
it's
My
the-
perception's +3, his is +3, so it doesn't make
All
a
right,
difference
go.
either way. Just roll it.
Isn't it if it's the an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma based thing? It's
It's good thing I rolled
yours.
that
and if it's
D20 earlier. Let's see if we
strength,
can
dex,
do on
Yeah,
that
I think
guidance.
that's right, Connor.
Gotcha.
We got a 6.
Oh boy.
A 6. Okay. We'll say like the owl, Carradine doesn't have like a great view through this particular window and can see. I would say with a 6, it can just see like 2 figures moving inside, like you can. But the lighting is such that it's really hard to tell anything more about them. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Is the how is this like a 2-story, 1-story building, 2 floors?
1 story.
I am gonna so I'm gonna telepathically ask Carradine to see if he can fly to the opposite side of the parsonage to see if there are any other windows, just to try and get a cross view from a different direction to see if he sees more specifically asking if he sees more people. He sees that there's 2, but does he see more anyone else?
So flying to the opposite side in the window, go ahead and make another perception check.
High rolls here, guys.
Great rolls. Great rolls.
Yikes.
Although Carradine's an owl and you have dark vision yourself, this room's dark. You can't see anything. It's just dark.
Oh, hang on a second. You know what I'm screwing up? Owls have keen hearing and sight. They have advantage on all perception checks.
Ooh, all right.
Nice.
I will say the 2 figures still stands because you rolled a 5 and a 6.
Yep.
If that's okay.
Yep.
Great. So coming over to this other side, you may now roll with advantage.
Holy crap, guys.
Big money.
I have not
It's still
rolled.
dark.
That's 1, 2, 3, 5 rolls, and I haven't rolled above a 5. Rock on.
Well, you did that. You rolled that one.
I got a nat
natural
20 to start.
Like, yeah.
Oh, wow. 1 and a 5.
Uh-huh. Yep. It's dark in this room.
Okay.
No light that you can tell.
So I'm just going to give him a one last order to fly to a rooftop or a tree limb that aligns him where he can watch the front door to the parsonage, and just tell him to fly back to me if he sees anybody additional entering or leaving before he sees me walk into the place. If he sees anybody come out or come in, he'll come get me until he sees me go in.
All right.
And
Great.
then
He's watching.
I'll disconnect and tell Callow and Courage that there's flickering lights from within, but the windows were difficult for Carradine to see through. But what he was able to let me know is that he could see at least 2 figures inside, but he couldn't
They're
identify
still
them.
there. Oh, we got them.
I would say it's around this time that Beatrix and Elandra show up. You can see like trying to adjust the shirt, like underneath the chainmail.
Did they appear to be hiding anything or removing anything? What were they doing in there? What were they?
He unfortunately Carradine could not see clearly enough. He was just able to identify that there were at least 2 figures inside.
But up to something, moving things, or simply sitting and having a cup of early morning tea.
That's a good question. Were the figures moving when he saw them, or were they stationary?
Yeah, they were moving.
He knew that they were. He could see that they were moving about, but what they were doing, he couldn't identify.
Well, let's go ask him.
Do Beatrix and Elandra even, because we're like stealthy hiding in a shadow somewhere, do they even see us as they're clanking down the
just typing. I was like typing to them like, all right, because the group isn't like yelling to you, go ahead and make perception checks.
And do we hear them coming? Like,
you definitely hear them coming, unless you guys are trying to be stealthy.
Nope, not trying to be stealthy. Holy shit. That is a 19 plus 2, 21, please.
21. You don't hear any sign of Lucian, but you do... Elandra, what did you get? Sorry. Running real good. It's weird when they sleep with their eyes open. Barney has his eyes open and is like clearly running in his dream. Oh, we woke him.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay, sleepy boy.
Why can't I find my dice on my D&D Beyond?
Just if you just look at like,
just click the number next to your stealth, or
I
sorry, your
did.
perception. Oh,
I did.
And it didn't work.
I'm getting a screen that brings up perception.
so
Like
no,
more information.
don't click on perception. Click on like the plus. So like if you the plus or minus, like whatever you have next to perception is a plus
I'm
what?
doing that. It's +6, but I'm not. I'm getting a window that pops up, not dice.
Like when you click the +6. Oh, there it goes.
That's
Oh, that was mine.
Oh, okay.
that was
Might be that you're not logged in,
Oh, maybe. Hold on.
because like I can't click on Elandra's numbers. Only
One
mine.
second.
yeah, top right.
I had her sheet open but wasn't signed in. Sorry,
We got
guys.
It's fine.
you're
You're
fine.
doing great.
Here we go.
It's the mushrooms.
23.
Wow. Okay. So, Beatrix, you can hear Courage and Callow whispering with your 21. But Elandra, you also pick up, in addition to them, you also pick up Lucian's voice. Because I believe their stealth checks were all under 23.
24.
Oh, you're just
Okay,
24.
so-
Because you guided. Is that right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Never mind. Neither of you hear Lucian, but you're able to identify where Courage and Callow are.
All right, I can tell that they're trying to be quiet, so I'm gonna stealthily go toward them.
All right. Go ahead and roll stealth check.
Can I, before we do
And
that,
I think I
can
have disadvantage. Oh,
yeah, can I cast Pass Without Trace?
Ooh, you sure can.
yeah, maybe.
So that, it says a veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet, including myself, has a +10 bonus to dexterity or stealth checks and can't be tracked except by magical means.
All right. So anyone that's already rolled a stealth check, once Elandra comes up to you guys, you also get to add a +10.
Mhm.
And yeah, Elandra and Beatrix, go ahead and roll your stealth.
Stealth.
Can't even find myself.
Thank God I have a +10.
Stealth is disadvantage, so okay, between a 7 and a 12, so 17.
16.
16. This is with your +10?
Yep.
Courage will whisper to Callow and Lucian. The girls are coming.
Both of them still scare
22?
the shit. Both of them still scare the shit out of Callow because he only has a 12 passive perception. So
Wait, What am I missing?
Meanwhile, she casts the spell, and Lucian just disappears right next to you.
Lucian? Yeah, because you're at 34 now?
Yeah, they're 34.
Courage also seems to have like really sunk back into some shadows, and although her skin was glowing before in the moonlight, she's able to, I don't know, hide it? Unclear, but she also very hard to see.
The negligee is nondescript. As Beatrix and Elandra come up, we'll whisper, Lucian's checking it out. Oh, Lucian just said there's 2 figures. Lucian can hear us.
I'm back, Courage.
Alright, should we get him?
There are
Let's go.
2 figures moving about inside the parsonage. Do we want to move up closer and see what more we can see?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If that's all we can know from this distance, we may need to get closer.
All right. Let's go. Lucian continues to move stealthily.
Mm-hmm. I'll let you guys keep these stealth rolls for now. They're real fun. What were you going to say, Courage? Okay.
As we move closer, are the doors open, closed?
Door is closed on the parsonage. You can kind of see as you get closer, like a very faint orange glow inside, as if from a light. You see light. As if from a fire.
Do we know if there is there only one door, just the front door, or do we know if there's a back door?
I would say, God, you know what? You're not sure. Carradine was not paying close attention. / Lucian wasn't paying close enough attention with those low perception checks.
It wasn't something I asked of him either. So.
Yeah. So you're sure that there are windows on each side of the building, and you know that there are these 2 windows in the front, but you're not sure about the back.
Okay. I have an idea. Let's go on either side of the door. 2 of us on one side, 3 on the other. And then is there anybody who's able to produce some sort of noise that might spur those who are inside to come running outside to investigate?
Certainly.
Very well. Okay. If we can produce a noise such that we can cause them to come running out the front door, I may be able to attempt to make it difficult for them to proceed once they go further. And Callow is going to pull a very odd-looking, very wide bottle from his pack with a very large cork, and pull the cork out and dump this material onto the ground in a max 10-foot square right in front of the door, like right up against the door of the parsonage. This is for mechanical purposes casting grease on the space right in front of the door.
Is it a single? Is it a single door or a double door?
Single door.
Does it open on the right side or the left side?
Hinges are on the right, handles on the left.
Okay. So Lucian watches Callow lay out this strange substance, and when he's done, he makes, Callow looks up. Lucian makes contact and says, "So we need something that will bring them to the door quickly." Excellent. I turn and I rap on the door with my staff, and then step to the side next to the shadows next to the hinge side of the door.
All right.
Okay, and then Callow's like, hide. We should all hide to either side of the door. Hide, everyone hide.
I mean, we are all masked. We're all masked, right?
Hide.
Are we?
You are not specifically masked. I mean, you're passive out of trace, so definitely stealthy.
But if somebody were to walk out the door and immediately look to their left or right,
They see us.
we would be there, right?
So the door. I'm like, no, it opens in. Yes, they would see you both like immediately. Except maybe Lucian. He is just really.
Who would be
Well,
behind
and possibly
the door?
Courage. I will say, like, Courage and Lucian, wherever you guys are positioned, it would still be for, you guys have really high stealth rolls. So for mechanical purposes, we'll say you're, like, either in the door, like, you're kind of behind the door frame, so you'd be harder to see.
And as
So just
Lucian
for
backs up
the
after knocking, he keeps bumping into Courage, who has a hand on his shoulder. Okay, this way. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
All right, who's on the handle
So
side,
just-
who's on the hinge side?
just
go
for,
ahead. Sir.
yeah, just that was what I wanted to know. It's sort of like, okay, so if the door opens, so on the hinge side, those people would be obscured by the door once it is open. On the handle side, those people would not be.
The door
visible.
opens in.
Door opens in.
I think so. That's how I pictured it.
So we saw the
Yeah,
handle.
that's how front
No,
doors.
No, that would make sense how a front door
Yeah.
would open. Yes, no, you're
Yeah,
right. Okay.
it's
So-
I was like, it just doesn't make sense to me that you pull it out.
Okay, so Lucian but for the purposes of this, Lucian and Courage were on the hinge side, correct?
Yeah.
I'm
I think,
asking.
yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay,
non-handle side.
Callow was probably on the other side.
All right, and we'll say Elandra
With-
and Beatrix
with-
are over there with you.
Okay, so at that point, after Lucian has just stepped forward and rapped on the door, Callow will try to like grab Beatrix and Elandra like the back of their shirts and sort of pull them back to try and get around the corner of the house, so that rather than being in the front of the house, we're just around the corner and able to sort of peer around, but not sitting right next to the door.
That's a good question. How wide is the front of the house?
I'm so bad at distances.
15, 20.
Whatever this is.
25.
Not the whole wall, from the door.
Oh,
We're in a very small studio. For
I would say 5 foot in the middle is the door, and 5 feet on each side. So 15 foot.
this is like
Right.
this is one side of the door essentially.
Oh,
15 feet on either side of the door.
Yes, that seems right. Yeah,
okay.
it's not that small.
That's big
Okay.
though.
Yeah,
Is that too
30.
big?
So that's 35 feet.
That's like
35 feet total.
total.
Yeah.
Okay.
That feels
Yeah.
small to me still
That's
for like a house,
7
right?
spaces.
Oh, that is too many. Okay, 15 feet on each side. 30 feet total.
So you could
35
go
total.
you could go from one end to
35
the
feet.
other in a single turn without dashing.
Probably half that.
Okay, Tom says half that. So I'm very bad. I'm very bad at spatial reasoning.
So
in fact.
That's
30 feet in total across is the whole house.
Yeah, I think that includes the door.
Okay.
Is that still too big?
fine.
Tom's looking at me funny.
Oh, okay.
No, we can say it's like 5, 5, 5. No, that's so small though.
How about 5, 10, 10?
5, 10, 10. Okay, 25 feet. There we are.
All right. So 5 foot wide door.
What do we see when the door opens?
Wait, no, we haven't
Or
got-
does it?
I'm trying to pull
Or
them.
does it?
Has the door opened yet? I'm still trying to. Callow is still trying to pull Elandra and Beatrix back away from the door, around the corner of the house. Are they?
Just
like,
tell me her armor is on
Are you-
enough where
are
it's
you
not going to
resisting?
fall back off.
Are you resisting, or are you coming with me?
Oh no, I'm coming.
I'm coming with you too, but I'm positioning myself so I'm closer to the door than either of the two of you.
Okay.
Callow,
Do we make it around the corner?
Funsies, do a quick dex check. Because you're pulling these two much larger women backwards.
Does he get a plus 10?
It's just dexterity, not stealth.
Okay.
It's just for funsies.
That's a total of 5.
Oh, you successfully pull them back, and they like kind of willingly go, which you don't expect, and you fall over on your butt, and you have to stand up and like brush yourself off, and you disappear around the corner just as the door opens, and you all see a young man. He's got brown hair. Let's see. Wow, I'm really good at describing. It's more like black hair, actually. It's like long black hair. You would guess he's probably like late teens, maybe early 20s, but he looks young. He's in a worn shirt, and he's got a tight. What is this word I want? Like a narrow jawline, and he looks out either side, and is like, "Is anyone there?" Actually, yeah, he doesn't actually look towards the hinge side. He looks towards the other side, so it doesn't seem to see Courage and Lucian, who are like right there.
We're around.
Oh, you run around the corner. Okay.
I would say Lucian said he was backing up. However far Lucian goes.
Okay. Who's there?
Is someone with him? Or is it just him?
You only see him.
All right. Beatrix is going to... Does it seem like he sees us or no?
He does not.
Okay. I'm gonna hold command ready. And if he bolts or if he does anything weird, I'm gonna cast command.
All right. Anyone else doing anything?
Lucian is gonna pull Courage with him into the light in front of the door, not where Callow has spread his concoction, but like into the light where this guy can see us. And he says, good sir, please, I know it's very early, but we saw that the light was on, and my young paramour and I are in need of some assistance. As you can see, we are trying to remain truthful to our faiths and our good names, but as you can see by her outfit, she is testing every bit of my ability to fend off her wily ways. That we're seeking some kind of religious guidance, and we saw the light on in the parsonage, and I beseech you to help us.
His name, guidance on myself. It's all true.
Yeah, you're gonna roll some deception checks right now.
As he's, as I am saying that, I putting a hand on Courage and a hand on myself. I am going to I'm casting guidance on Courage.
Oh, you probably couldn't hear, but Courage also guided herself. If it mattered.
Then I will guide myself as I, because I didn't tell Courage I was going to do this.
You're gonna need it.
I was probably gonna. So this is a deception check with guidance.
Oh, for the love of God.
Here's mine.
Up to you, Lucian.
So I got a 22 plus the guidance. 23.
All right.
And Courage got a 6.
Give or take.
Courage, I could use your help. Tell me why you're not believable in this moment.
I'm staring at Lucian stunned, like, what the fuck?
I think we all are. I feel like we all must have had some kind of laugh or chuckle at this moment.
So this young man sort of like raises his eyebrow.
I think the part that looks suspicious as Lucian starts pulling Courage forward, Courage like had one hand and then had a shield and mace in the other hand. As he pulls forward, he starts to pull the mace out to be two-handed, and then he puts the mace back behind the shield, and I keep
behind. You see her eyebrows just sort of go up, his eyebrow just go up, and he like makes eye contact again with you, Lucian. He's like, "Well, not really the priest here. I'm
Is
just
this about the age differential?
I'm not one to judge. Ma'am, are you cold?" And you see, like, he's trying to make eye contact with Lucian, but I would say in typical teenage boy fashion, he's also like, boobs, 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 boobs. And he's clearly, like, struggling to not stare. It's very deliberately not staring at Courage's chest, except clearly, like, you know, his eyes keep darting there.
So,
Can you tell us?
So if Lucian notices that he's not making eye contact and he's just focused on
he's
Courage,
trying. Yeah.
Lucian's hand dips into his spell pouch and comes out, and he mixes a little bit of powdered snake's tongue and honeycomb between his fingers, and whispers quietly and casts suggestion.
Ooh. Huh? Save, right?
It's a wisdom 15.
Terrible rolling surface. He fails.
And the suggestion is going to be I'm going to play off of his focus on Courage, and I'm going to tell him, please help her with whatever she asks of you.
All right. How long does suggestion last, if you can remind me?
It's concentration. It lasts up to 8 hours.
Okay.
So you have a willing helper for 8 hours, Courage. As long as that help isn't something that, would cause them, the actions have to be reasonably or sound reasonable.
Well, yes, I mean, again, I'm not the priest, but I'd be happy to help. I'm just the groundskeeper here. What is your name? What are your names?
I reach forward to shake his hand. I'm Kirby Plumpstump, and this is my
Beloved.
Wait. So where are you? Because there's.
I was just like, are you trying to shake his
square? There's a 10-foot square of grease.
Gotcha.
The door. So, if you're reaching out to shake his hand, are you on the other side?
No. You know what? Yeah, knowing that is there, I'm not going to try to reach forward to shake his hand, but I will say my name is Kirby Plumpstump.
Well, casting suggestion. Kirby's trying to see. Can she see anything going on behind him coming out the front of the building?
Make a perception check. And then in a moment, we'll come back to the other three of you and what you're doing.
So I'm going to introduce Courage. So I'm going to say, thank you, young man. My name is Kirby Plumpstump, and this is my paramour, Cashmere Pillows. Can we?
Cashmere.
Come on.
And of course, his mind is now just boobs, pillows, boobs, pillows, boobs.
Boobs are like pillows. Look, I haven't been a teenage boy, but I'm told that that's how mine's work is boobs, boobs, boobs. At least the straight ones.
Well, it's boobs, 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 ancient Rome. Boobs, 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 ancient Rome. And as you get older, it's just more instances of boobs get replaced by ancient Rome.
Condition of being a man. So smile. You can see it was 19. You said. You can see it behind Milo. You can see another shorter figure, but you can't see them well because they're backlit. You would guess that they are either a child or a gnome or a dwarf, like someone of smaller stature based on their height. And they're kind of like hiding, not directly behind this gentleman, but.
And then when he says he's a groundkeeper, does it seem plausible? Does it look like he could be a groundskeeper?
Roll an insight check. And then I promise we're going to get to the other group. 17. Yep. He says this, and you can tell like his shirt clearly has dirt stains. You hadn't noticed it before, but he is kind of resting his hand on something right inside the door, and it's a shovel. He's not like wielding it, just like it's clearly like laying, like sort of propped up against the wall. He's got big work boots on. Seems very plausible that he's a groundskeeper. Other team. Callow team. I was like, team girl? Nope.
Team around the corner.
Team around the corner. What are you guys doing?
Team side piece.
Team. I love that.
We are watching very carefully and not moving and trying really hard not to laugh. That's what we're doing, I would assume.
What I feel like I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm failing. Thank God for mute.
But your laugh always brings joy.
Team side piece. Yep.
Okay, is there anything else you want to be doing?
Nope.
Nope, just
Okay.
watching,
All right.
just waiting.
All right, so he's like, well, I mean, I could either, I could talk to you in the church. I mean, what can I help with? I'm not a religious professional, but I could get Father Vargas in a couple of hours.
As he asks, I'm going to turn to Kashmir and say, kind of turning so that he can't see my full face, but Kashmir can. And I'm going to wink with the eye that is away from the young man and say, dear, I'm fairly certain he's honest in how much he wishes to help us. Simple suggestions, wink, wink, might be able to help us with our unique situation. And you seem to have his undivided attention, so I leave this in your good hands.
Well, thank you so much. Is there a back door?
You're asking?
Or do we have to leap in through the front door?
Yes, ma'am, there's a back door. Did you want to use it?
So, we really just need a place to be alone for a while. And I think my ex might be following us. If he sees us come into the front door, he'll know we're here. If he just sees us walk around, he don't know where we are. Can you let us in the back?
Yeah, of course. Yeska, can you unlock the door?
And then we just need to hide a bit. It looks like you're working.
Well, I was helping Yeska, and you can hear little scampering feet running away.
Shit.
Get ready for the day. Is all. We're gonna start working in another, He, sort of looks up at the sky. Another 15 minutes or so. We need to get the church opened up for early morning prayers.
Well, we don't want to get in your way. We'll wait till you head out, and then just come in the back, take a nap, separate beds.
But we just, I guess you could use Father Petrovich's room. I think that would probably be okay, but it's a single bed in there.
We'll make it.
Okay, I'm not sure how it's going to help your predicament, but happy to help.
It's perfect.
All right.
Lord works in mysterious
back
ways.
Praise be Sunface.
Sunface, yeah. Praise be. He looks very confused. And he will shut the door. Because you guys said you're going to go around. Like, as soon as you start to move towards the back, he'll shut the door. You guys go around the back?
I think we go around back.
Yes.
Are all of us gonna go to the back? Are you gonna come collect us?
You heard all this.
Or yeah.
I think probably we should stay put until everything's calmed down.
As we go to walk around, Lucian is going to focus on Callow, and kind of just point one finger at him and cast message. And the message he's going to pass on is, we've gained entrance in at the very we will we've gained entrance in. We'll reconnoiter as best as we can. At the very least, we might be able to get into at least forget his name, Father Pejanovich, what's his name?
Petrovich.
We may be able to get into Father Petrovich's room, and see what we can find there. At the very least, we may be able to learn more about the missing priest.
Quick DM question.
Yeah.
He said Veska, right?
Yeska.
Yeska. And that was the name of the altar boy.
Sure was. Good note taken.
As we come around the corner, we'll whisper to Lucian, fucking altar boy will make us.
We
and as we walk past the window, she'll hide her face.
Okay.
How long has it been since we first approached the parsonage and started on charade?
Mm-hmm. I would say, I don't know, does 5 minutes sound reasonable? Maybe 7?
So the grease has dissipated at this point.
Okay.
It's gone.
It was a great plan.
Would have been cool.
Well, the plan was if he reacted poorly, I was gonna use a telepathic shove to pull him out into it, and if it didn't, see if we couldn't get info without having to hurt anybody. I know we were really originally scheduled to stop before 9. I think you guys had other plans tonight. I'm having fun, but I don't want to keep everybody off schedule.
The only thing that gives me pause is just the fact that we do need to hit the road tomorrow at some point. Not like the crack of dawn, but
Yeah.
Is this a good stopping point?
Yeah, I think so. I would say, do you all plan to gather in front of the door? Would be the question. Maybe maybe it can be discussed offline of who's going in, who's not, and what are the plans. So something to be discussed.
The plan is we kind of hang out till they leave, and then go in the back door all together.
All right. I mean, they're expecting you at the back door imminently.
I would say Kashmir and Kirby could probably go inside. At the very least, we could look around the priest's room if they're willing to give us access. The question is whether or not it's the altar boy at the back door or it's our newfound friend.
And when we get back there, I'll say, we'll wait till you leave. we prefer some privacy. Try stall until they leave the front door, and then can gesture to the other three that we all go in the back door together, without anyone seeing us.
I'm gonna think about if that's. I don't know if that's like. Is that reasonable? I'll read suggestions.
But I'm in my 90.
That's true. You are.
Cool.
And we don't want to get in the way.
Courage sort of puts her arms together like this, just sort of like
The classic, like, oh, can you please help me?
yeah, just push the boobs together.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll just like pick up from the like he closes the door, and you're gonna go around back next time. All right. Excellent. Super fun. It was great hearing more about all your backstories.
Yay!
Very fun. Thank you so much, Emily. This is great.
Thank you. This was really good. I'm so glad people were willing to do this on relatively short notice.